So before I showed you 1 point and 2 point perspective, this time I'm going to do 3 point perspective. You can either put your horizon line somewhat in the top half of your top bit of your canvas, or you could put it in the bottom. Oh, what did that say? Screen recording saved. Okay, good. So you could either put it up there or you could put it down here. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna put it up at the top for mine. I also need to add a 3rd point. Since we are working with just this canvas, I'm gonna put it down on the canvas, but I'll show you in a little bit how to use the perspective tools more. So right now, I have my horizon line. This is going to be my vanishing point 1, VP1. Let's make it in a color. Where's my good friend? There we go. VP1. Over here, that's going to be VP2. VP2. There we go. Down at the bottom. I don't really like it when it's a whole dot. I really want it to be something I can aim for, so I'm just going to put an X here or a plus and call that VP3. I have 3 vanishing points because I'm in 3 point perspective. I'll call this horizon line. Lower the opacity. Okay, so here's my key. Before, all of my lines needed to go, if they were in 1 point perspective, everything had to be vertical if it was a Y. If it was horizontal, it was truly horizontal, so that was our X. And Z was going to be the only one that converged. That was 1 point perspective. Let's make that Y look less dorky. Okay, then when we did 2 point perspective, we got rid of that horizontal angle, so we kept our vertical, Y. And then our X and Z planes went to our 2 vanishing points. Where's that one? There we go. Fix that. There we go. That was 2 point. Alright, and now we have 3 point perspective. So what that means is nothing is going to go perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal. So we got rid of this before, now we're getting rid of this, and everything is going to converge. So I'm going to make a point. Y is going to go to wherever that vanishing point is. This time it happens to be below, but we could do it to an angle to make it clear. Let's find our green. These are going to be going to a vanishing point. And X's are going to go to a vanishing point. Everything goes to a vanishing point for a 3 point perspective. So that's my key. So let's put it into practice now. Before, let's turn this back on. With 1 point perspective, I think it's best to start with a square. Or that face plane. With 2 point perspective, I think it's best to start with a line, that vertical line. With 3 point perspective, we're going to start with a corner or a point. So I'm going to put my first shape over here. This is going to be for a cube. I'm going to start with that cube, and let me show you what I'm doing right now. Just kind of mini view. I'm starting with this corner here. This one right here. So everything has to go to a vanishing point. Let's send each of these vanishing points to my corner. Let's grab the blue. Here's that vanishing point. Let's drag that straight up. Find the green. Connect that green vanishing point to my corner. So now what I have are these edges. And blue. So now I need to get the rest of them. I'm going to start with the red edge. I'm going to see how tall I want this to be. Wherever I put this, I'm going to match that with my green. So it comes to meet it. So now I've gotten this edge and this edge. Next, I can go through and find how deep I want this to be. So I'm gonna put my mark here, it could be here, find anywhere on this green line and connect it from the top line down to your vanishing point. Wherever you put that, a red pole has to come out of these. You can test it if you're not using colors. You can test it by tracing back. So okay, I've got this point. It needs to go to every single vanishing point. It's already going to this one. It's already going to this one. What's the one I'm missing? Same up here. It's already going this way. It's already going this way. That last corner needs to go that way. So let's connect it with our red lines. Okay, lastly, let's go back to our blue. We need to decide how wide or long this is going to be. It could be pretty long. It could be a building, it could be a cube. Let's do a building size one for now. And so note here, I'm connecting from the line that's connected to this top edge, that original point that we made. Oh, I need to see my vanishing point though. Okay. So now where those intersected, here and here, those need to go to the green. So I'm going to grab from my vanishing point, go all the way across until it intersects with that line. You can see I didn't do a very good job of hitting my vanishing point. It's not that bad. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's good to try. Alright, now we just need that back edge here. And I'm going to lower the opacity on my construction lines. We'll call it construction. And I'm going to add a layer and trace over it. The reason this looks so pinched is because my vanishing points are all on my canvas. They're all pretty close together. The further away my vanishing points are, the more natural this shape is going to look. This is kind of how you would see most objects in real life is closest to this 3-point perspective. Okay, so we have our cube. Let's do that again. Let's do it to the side now. I'm going to do a whole new set of layers. So let's just group these together and start again. I'm going to put this one somewhere back here. I need a point. That's going to be that front corner, right? That needs to go to every single vanishing point. So let's connect it down. Let's make sure it's somewhat centered. There we go. Let's grab the green, go to the green vanishing point. Let's grab the red, go to the red vanishing point. Alright, now that we have those, we need to make some determinations. How tall is this box going to be? Let's make it somewhat short, something like that. So I'm going to connect my red vanishing point onto my blue line somewhere. Wherever I connected it, that green has to match it. Make sure my vanishing points are pretty lined up. There we go. Alright, now I need to decide how long my cube is going to be. What's this direction and this direction's depth? So I'm going to make a line from the top up here, this top green line. I can make it as wide as I want it to be or as narrow as I want it to be. I'm going to go for something a little more narrow. We can do the same thing already on the other side. Let's do it here, perhaps. Alright, now that I have these, we need to connect everything away. We need to get that back edge. Right now we don't have anything going on back here. So we need to make sure that every corner, every intersection is going to 3 poles. So right now, if you look at this one, that one's already going to 3 poles. This one's already going to 3 poles. This one's missing one. It needs to go to a red pole. Let's connect that across. Same with the top one. Oops, that made a curve. Alright, good start. And now let's go back to the green. Because these two over here, these intersections, are missing their connections. Now they have these crossing points here. That's going to be our back edge. We can just connect the two together like that. Or you could drop it all the way to the vanishing point. It's up to you. Lower the opacity. Call it construction lines, not congratulations lines. And trace it. I'm going to erase away that back edge. Okay, so now we have our 2 boxes. Again, we need 10 shapes, so let me show you how you would go about working with those to make a cylinder or a cone. I'm gonna draw in my plane. Line those corners up. Do the same thing over here. Then you would just connect the outer tangents, just like that. And now you have a cylinder instead of a cube. Well, I guess I'll leave that one. You could do the same thing going up if you wanted to. You would just connect your ellipse like this. And across the top edge too. I know that looks messy, but you would end up with a cone or a cylinder. See how we got that? I'm gonna get rid of that one because it's not terrible, but I'm not proud of it, so I'll get rid of it. Alright, I'm going to go back to explaining how to make additive shapes next, and then we're going to do a prop in 2-point perspective.